Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So the first thing to do on this DIY marble countertops is wipe down your countertops with warm water and a little bit of soap. Then you can go in and start painting once that has dried. I started off on all the corners and edges to do my first base coat, letting that dry, and then going in to the center to fill that in. I don't have a paint tray, so I was just drizzling the paint in the centers because that was easier for me than driving down to Lowe's or Home Depot and buying a paint tray when it wasn't necessary, as you can see. So this is my first coat, and I was very skeptical. Like, I was kind of freaking out because I wasn't sure what I got myself into. But I ended up doing 3 coats of the white paint, and that gave me the coverage I was looking for. So this is the countertop after 1 coat of paint. As you can see, it doesn't look very good, but I went ahead and let that sit overnight. The next day, came back, did the second layer, let that coat sit overnight, and then this is the third and final layer that I'm doing here. And then I really liked the coverage that gave. It's solid white, there's no countertop peeking through, and I was really excited and it was ready to move on to the veins. So here I am doing the first vein. I was kind of really nervous to do this. All you have to do is use the paintbrush that the kit comes with. You draw out your veins that you like. You spritz the vein with the bottle of water provided, and then you fan it out with that big paintbrush. So there's where I drew the line of how I wanted the vein to look. You go in with your spritz bottle after that. It's just a bottle of water. You spritz that vein to where it kind of bleeds out and fans out. Then you use the brush that comes in the set to tap over that vein and get the vein to look exactly how you want it. There's all different kinds of styles of veining. You can look at Pinterest or Google, just marble, and then you can pick out exactly the type of veins that you like. Personally, I like big dramatic veins, so that's what I kind of did over my entire countertops. So I decided I didn't like adding this vein here, so I'm going to spritz it some more because it's still wet, and then take my napkin and just wipe it away. I just didn't like how that was connecting with the other one. So here I'm doing the edges. You have to be very light-handed when it comes to the edges. I spritz with just the minimum amount of water that I could, because if you put too much, that paint is going to bleed and it's not going to stay in place. So I really took my time on these edges, and honestly it took me probably 4 minutes per edge that I did. Next, I have the highlight on this big sponge that comes in the kit, and I wasn't too sure on how exactly to highlight all the veins, so I went ahead and just tapped over every single vein, and I think it turned out really pretty. So here I have taped down the drip cloth that's going to catch all the resin that gets poured over the sides of the countertops, because that resin needs to flow from the center over the edges, obviously. So you want to make sure that drip cloth is there so you're not ruining your furniture or your floors or the counter space below. Once that resin has been activated, you can feel that the resin has actually heated up in the can, and you know it's ready to go. So just pour nice even layers up and down the countertop, and use the roller sponge that comes in the set to go ahead and smear and spread out that resin to make it look like a nice even layer and like you have a marble slab. So here I'm using the roller brush on the edge to make sure the resin is getting on the corners and that they look Like it's a nice cohesive marble slab. I'm really, really happy with how they turned out. I think they're so stunning and beautiful. To paint the resin on the backsplash, I used the 2-inch angled brush that comes in the set and just made sure that my paintbrush wasn't dripping with resin and that the countertop was still wet so the resin would form together where it met, and it turned out beautifully. I'm so happy with how my countertops turned out. This resin is really cool that the air bubbles will escape by themselves. You don't have to have a blowtorch, and that's really cool to me. And I absolutely love this company for making this DIY kit. It just completely elevated my space, and I love it so much.